with all that being said, with about, my brother and growing up and whatever, I had one male, like, role model, and that was my grandpa. We didn't live close to him. We lived like 4 hours away from them, so we only saw them when we had a little extra money for the gas and some food and whatever, or holidays. So I didn't know, what to look for in a partner, or, a healthy way. And so my first serious boyfriend, was in high school, freshman year, young teenage high school sweetheart love. It was, I thought, we're going to be together forever, whatever. No, that did not work out, obviously. I ended up, getting pregnant, at 15, and he was not ready, obviously. His family, I think, got a lot into his head about, she's ruining your life, like, that baby is going to keep you from doing everything you want to do, and, she basically was like, how do you know it's even yours? You should get it DNA tested, and whatever else, and put a lot of doubt, and I think skepticism in his mind about me and his kid and whatever. And his mom didn't want to be a mom. She just probably had the kids to shut the people she was with up. I don't know, but she shouldn't have been a mom, and let alone a mom of two. She fake liked me, like, of course, and then when all that happened, didn't speak to me, didn't care for me, the whole family, same thing, they were better than me, and whatever. So, he was in and out during my pregnancy. There was a domestic violence incident between him and I while I was pregnant. So I did get a protection order against him. And it was just a really rocky time between when I had her. We kind of got back together a few times, and it just, between my family and how they felt about him, and his family how they felt about me and my family, just would have never worked out. It would have been like the whole Romeo and Juliet situation. So, I got tired of it. I'm sure he got tired of it, and we just stopped being together. And then I, of course, went and picked someone completely worse and wrong for me, who was mentally abusive, meaning like, and financially abusive. Like, I would try to go get a job, but then something or someone would always make it to where I'd have to, like, quit, or I couldn't continue going anymore, because that partner of mine at the time had, and still has, a lot of fucking issues, and for some reason decided that they wanted to take it out on my kid, my oldest, that I had in high school, Brooke. And by take it out, I mean, like, I got spanked, so it's okay, and I turned out okay, shit like that. I was obviously trying to, back up my kid, and, stuff, whatever, and it always ended up in a fight between, me and them. Threatened to, like, kick my animals out, threw all of my clothes out onto the porch once, pushed me up against the fridge, and a bunch of other crap. And honestly, so much shit has happened between then and now that I'm having a hard time remembering it all. But financially abusive, meaning, like, they made the money, I stayed home, and then if I wanted to go out by myself, to go shopping, to go wherever, absolutely not, would ruin my day, argue with me, and then eventually I wouldn't go, or I would cut my day short, or they'd make me feel so bad about spending that money. So then I kind of just learned to not take care of myself. Again, like, I still didn't know how to really take care of myself, because I have literally taken care of someone else or everybody else my entire life, starting at 6. I don't know how to be taken care of. I really don't. And so that, I would work when I could, but since they were so abusive in mentally and emotionally and financial ways, they tried to be physically abusive to Brooke. There were a few instances where I was told that Brooke did get spanked on the butt with a belt. I am not that type of parent. I will give the stare, I will give the warnings, I will give like the harsh mom tone, and that's basically it. I'll take away like toys or Xbox or electronics or whatever if it needs to be, but not really needed. And they just for some reason, every little thing that Brooke would do or we would do or I would allow her to do was always wrong. I shouldn't have let her do that. She's not going to learn anything. She's blah, 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 blah. Like constant fights. Yes, I could have left earlier. Yes, I could have, and blah, 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 blah. But it's not that easy. I had no money. I had animals. And I had no car to myself. I had nothing to myself other than like the clothes I would wear and my kid. That was in my animals. But again, I had no way to get home. I had no way, home meaning like back to Arizona to my family. I had no way to leave and whatever for a long, long time. And then finally I just decided one day we're moving back to Arizona and blah, blah, blah. We did end up having a son together. And he's amazing. I love him so much. But, unfortunately I have to be tied to that a-hole person for the next at least however many years. So that relationship effed me up and effed Brooke up, obviously. And then, I moved back to Arizona. I went to school. I went and got, I was working. I was being mom and all this other stuff. And then they moved down here. And I was stupid and tried to fix it. I don't know. I regret it all. I really do. I regret ever bringing them down here, letting them come down here. I really fucking do regret it. It's been a shit show, especially lately with them, with the other person, and their now fiance, which is a story I'll get into. But all this needs to be said before I can tell what's been going on recently. And so all of that's to say, I have not had a good time picking people. I didn't know how to speak up for myself. I didn't know that my voice mattered. I didn't know that what I wanted mattered. I was weak. I wanted the love and the attention and the care that I didn't get growing up, and I unfortunately found it in the worst people. Started off great, everything was great, super nice, a year or two in, and then the colors start to show, and then by that point the women or the people are in too deep, they're in deep, and it's a lot harder to leave. That's why those types of people wait so long to show their true colors, because they have you locked in and know that you are either so in love with them or so dependent on them, like my situation, that you can't leave. And it's a bit of a Stockholm syndrome. Like it's a trauma bond. I fully get that now. And I was scared, I was scared, and I felt bad, and I feel bad for hurting people, even though that they can say whatever they want to me, call me ungrateful, say that I'm bitching, even though I literally just complain like everybody else about finances, everything. But it's not okay for me to do. Again, I'll get into that. So that led, me to a string of bad people to be with, people that used and abused me, a lot of hobosexuals where, they don't have a house, so then they came to live with me because I had one. Yeah, and, I have, other children after, those two, unfortunately, again, with shitty people. Again, didn't know that they were shitty until so far in. And yeah, so I was very, I guess, flip-floppy according to some family members when I was younger, because who isn't when they're younger? They don't know what they're doing, what they want, they're figuring stuff out, blah blah blah, whatever. But apparently it's not okay for me to be like that, because I am now being reprimanded and punished, and I guess still held accountable for the fact that I was flip-floppy 15 years ago or 8 years ago. Apparently all the work I've done and put in these past 5 years mean nothing, because I was like that before. And basically all the stuff that I've gone through since 2021 is not it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to anybody else but me, because I'm the one that lives with everything in my head. I'm the one that deals with it. I'm the one that has to have the memories and the flashbacks and the nightmares and stuff. And again, I've taken care of everybody else. I've never been taken care of. So why would I cry in front of people when I'm upset? Why would I ask for help? Because when I have before, and I have quite a few times, I'm told no, I get ignored, or they talk like so badly to me that I don't even want the help anymore. Or they're like, oh yeah, I'll help you, and then I have to remind them 7 times, and then I have to, ask again, and then by that point it's like, okay, you really don't want to help me, so bye. Like, I feel like I am there for people the best I can be, and then when it comes to people being there for me, I just don't matter. So, it just sucks. I grew up, unfortunately, being mentally, emotionally, and verbally abused by my brother. I was not able to find or, be in a healthy relationship. I didn't know that my voice mattered again and whatever, because I just was so conditioned to not be seen, to not be heard, to not be cared about, really. Every day or every month, every week, every year, it's always proven to me in one way or the other. So that kind of leads up to, okay, so I covered the mental health stuff, where it came from, what started it, covered my brother from hell, because he is a very big reason as to why I am the way that I am today. And he will still not take accountability for it. He will not apologize. According to him, he did nothing wrong. He doesn't remember it, so it didn't happen. And I'm just a shitty mom. I'm a shitty sister. I'm a shitty daughter. According to him, I'm worthless. I'm useless. I don't even know why I'm here type thing. So I've covered all that, and then I'm gonna start going into, well, I mean, I guess I could go into Sawyer, but I've kind of touched base a lot on that. He had heterotaxy, which is, his insides, or his organs were on the opposite sides of where they should have been. He was missing the pulmonary vein that connects from his heart to his lungs, and he was missing like 2 chambers in his heart, and one of his veins was like super, super tiny, and I knew that there was a very big possibility that he wasn't going to make it through the birth. He was fine in my stomach. He was fine while I was pregnant, perfectly fine. But what they weren't sure of is, one, how bad he really was on the inside, because he was in need, that they couldn't really get a good thing, even though I had an MRI and all that stuff to try and map out exactly how he looked inside. And I didn't even get to see him when he came out. It was like an emergency, almost C-section. Not, yeah, hold on. Not like an emergency C-section, but it needed to be planned of when, what time, and everything down to like the second, because he had like 60 some odd people on his team, his surgical team, because he immediately got hauled off to, yeah, it's a wipe. He immediately got hauled off to surgery. Like they took him out of my belly, and okay, come on. And when we get inside. Sorry, Jesus. Like, I don't understand why I talk. She doesn't even listen the first time. Anyways, he was blue, like one of those people from the Blue Man Group, I guess. I did not get to see him. I didn't get to see him until like 6 hours later. He was in surgery trying to get a stent placed into one of his veins that was like super small, to try and widen it so that way maybe it could strengthen up and then strengthen the other like organs and stuff, veins and stuff that he needed. And so, hold on, kids, right? So he, I didn't get to see him. He was he looked like, so I was very, very, out of it. Okay. Oh my gosh, kids, I love them so much. I was very, very, very drugged up on pain medication, and anxiety medication, because my heart rate was through the roof. Like, it was, the nurses had to like come in and be like, can you please take some deep breaths? Like, your blood pressure and your heart rate are very high. Like, we need you to try and take some deep breaths, try to calm down if you can. I was like, I can't, like, I cannot. So they gave me some whatever through my IV and whatever. So I didn't get to see him until like 2, 3, 4 o'clock maybe in the morning. I had to wait till he was out of surgery, and they made sure that he wasn't gonna like, and whatever. And I had to wait till I could at least stand up and walk after the C-section. And he looked so small and fragile and perfect. Like, he